Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing, testing. All right. I want to talk about this presidency coming up, what it's going to mean for us and myself specifically as a black man living in America. The part I want to talk about is all these sanctions that they saying Trump is going to put on the world. China, all these other countries, anybody that don't want to ride with the US dollar, he going to put sanctions on them. Thought about that. And my thought is a lot of people might not agree with me, but I can't say I disagree with the concept of what I think he's trying to implement. The reason I say that is because when I go to these countries, when I go, say, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, wherever I go, when I go to these countries and I turn in 100 US dollars and I get four, five, 600 of their currency back, and I see how long the US dollar goes, how far it stretches when it's in these other countries, it makes me feel good. Now, for me to imagine the reverse, another currency equivalent to $100 of a foreign currency equivalent to five or 600 US dollars. Can you imagine the US dollar being devalued like that? Passport bros, all you people who like to travel, there's no more traveling. Excuse me. Not for the rates that you get now. When you go over there, plate a good meal, a $5 meal over there may become the reverse. Say a $10 meal over here will be a $10 meal over here. You take that same $10 to another country, that's a $30 meal because the American dollar has been devalued. Now, I understand that countries like Africa, Brazil, um, well, Africa, I want to say I do love my people. I love my brothers, my sisters. I do love my lineage. However, I'm an American and I'm living in America and I'm enjoying the benefit of the American dollar. And I enjoy the power that the American dollar carries. I enjoy the strength that the American dollar brings. I don't think I would enjoy life as much without it. The US dollar been around for a while. Let's leave it like that. It's strong, it's steady, it's time tested, it's proven, it's proven to work. Let's keep it the way it is. It's been the global standard for quite a while. Let's keep it like that. The dollar don't fluctuate very much like the yuan and other currencies around the world. So it can be depended on. Let's leave it like that. Let's leave the American dollar right where it is. The many countries that rely on the American dollar for trading, let's continue to do that. People are used to the dollar. People know the dollar. If a new system get implemented, we don't know how that's going to work. We don't know once that get in, who's going to come next and decide they want to head their own currency. It'll be like a domino effect. No, let's just leave it like it is. Let's leave it right where it's at. The American dollar is good right where it's at. Counterfeiting. Who's to say that if another currency comes in, the counterfeiters won't just duplicate the hell out of it and crash that system because it's a new system, not quite tested. The US dollar is one of the more difficult bills to counterfeit. When you feel the lapels on a $20 bill or these other bills, you feel the roughness. It's hard to duplicate. Not that I've tried it. I've talked to people who talk to people who talk to people that told me that it's hard to duplicate. So let's leave it where it's at, y'all. People know how to work with the US dollar. People trust the US dollar. So let's continue to trade in the US dollar. I enjoy it. You enjoy it. Let's leave it where it's at, y'all. Put my phone on silent. Let's leave it where it's at, y'all. I like it. You like it. Every American that's here, every American that I hear that criticize Trump's plan to do what he's doing to fight to continue to keep the American dollar as the standard, they enjoy those same benefits and luxuries of the American dollar. So don't say you don't. What about all the countries that keep the US dollar as backup money? They depend on the dollar. And I don't think a lot of people realize the United States is an empire. It's not just that part that you see that's off Canada and off Mexico. The United States empire is vast and far reaching, strong, sturdy, and stable. And I'm not caping, I'm just saying. I'm just saying I enjoy the luxuries of the American dollar. That's all I'm saying. And I like it. Oil and gold are priced in US dollars. I trade it in US dollars. And I'm cool with that. I'm not convinced that there should be a change from the US dollar to bricks. I'm not convinced of that. And I don't want to throw shade on other countries because I do like to travel. I don't want to find myself in another country and they look at me as a hate speecher against them. Is that a word? Speecher, hate speecher. I don't want to go to another country and they look at me as a as a person that spews hate speech because I'm not. I don't have anything against these countries. I don't have anything against them. They've done nothing to me personally. All I'm saying is I was born in America and the American passport, the American dollar carries a lot of weight. And that's all I've known how to trade in all my life. And I've enjoyed it traveling, trading, doing what I do. I understand that if there was a different currency, it probably wouldn't make much difference for people who live in the country and don't travel anywhere. Probably won't make much difference. The American dollar would be utterly devalued. It would be so deflated. But I bet you this a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people that work and live in other countries that depend on the American dollar for their livelihood, I bet they would feel it. Yeah, you would feel it. So don't get on here and bash me. Don't get on here and act like I'm talking wrong. So let's leave it like it is. Now, from what I understand, according to Google, the American dollar been around since it's been in play since World War II, or since after World War II, or somewhere around there. It's been the global trade. Excuse me for a second, y'all. Like I said, I think we should keep the American dollar right where it is. We love it, we trust it, we use it, and it carries a lot of weight across the world. Let's leave it right where it is. We don't need to incorporate another currency. I enjoy it, you enjoy it, we enjoy it. So, plus, the American dollar has a history. We know the American dollar. So let's back it. Let's stand with it. Now, the drawback to this alleged impending trade war would be some prices would increase because we know a lot of things come out of China. Lots of clothing, uh, electronics, various items, lots of things. I'm sure everybody in America has at least two items that come from China. Socks, whatever, made in China. How many times have you seen something on the back of it or the bottom of it or inside of it, the tag or whatever, it says made in China? So now, if Trump imposed these tariffs, of course, they're going to do the same thing. So what will that do? That will drive the prices of certain things up, which I understand that. It's the cost of doing what you got to do. But at the end of the day, I like the dollar just the way it is. I think the US dollar should stay just where it's at. We don't need those US, we don't need bricks. We don't need bricks. We don't need the US dollar being devalued. We don't need that. So I can't say again that I disagree with Trump um, imposing these sanctions. I don't disagree with it. If anybody do disagree with it, I would like to hear from you. Tell me what you think about it and why you think what you think. Feel free to comment. The US dollar has been a leader in the world economy, and let's keep it that way. Many many countries, smaller countries, they are stabilized by the US dollar. They are held up by the US dollar. They depend on the US dollar. So let's keep it that way. I think we should. And another thing, so if they were successful in incorporating this other currency, would that mean that there are two main currencies for the world? And the part of the world that want to use this currency is going to use this currency. The part of the world that wants to use the American currency is going to continue to use the American currency. Oh man, see now you're complicating things. Too complicated. I don't like it. The American dollar powers global financial systems in a lot of these smaller countries. Again, they rely on the dollar, and the dollar has been proven, tested, and shown that it can maintain a stable economy. Now, from what I understand, there's Putin, he's the head of it. China is the monetary backing, but China is not willing to put the yuan out there. China ain't willing to risk their economy like that and put it out there. The United States put the dollar out there. China is not willing to do that. And then the yuan is up and down. China has already shown that allegedly they purposely devalue the yuan from time to time. Now, again, this ain't no shot at China because I don't want to find myself traveling to China and I mess around and something happened to me. So, if anybody from China hear this, it's not no shot at y'all, no pun intended. So, But however, the American dollar has been tried, tested, and proven. So let's keep it the way it is. And it's easier. It's easier to make investments. It's easier to maneuver. It's easier to do things because you got one currency and one currency only. Let's leave it at one currency. When you want to measure something, you measure it against the US dollar. And that's how it's been. And I think that's how it should continue to be. I like it. It's the US dollar, y'all. Let's leave it the way it is. The US dollar is used in technology hubs worldwide. Digital systems base their currency against the US dollar. Or should I say, digital systems use the US dollar as a base for their currency. So let's leave it where it's at. Let's keep the US dollar in play. I'm saying that as if it's up to me, but what I'm saying is let's support the US dollar continuing to be the standard for the world currency. The US dollar reflects the strength of the US economy. A strong dollar helps America lead in global decisions. Let's leave it like that. The US dollar supports US businesses overseas. If you devalue the dollar, what happens to those businesses overseas? Excuse me, y'all. America is stable, regardless of what they tell you, regardless of what they try to make you think. America is still a stable. The economy is still stable, still looking good. So everything is going good. Let's continue to have confidence and faith in the US government. I don't think the other candidate would have rolled as hard or would have rolled for US dollar or would have taken those steps to do what had to be done in order to fight for the US dollar to remain in force in the world. Where it cost me $1,500 to travel to another country, it cost me $1,500 round trip ticket to travel to another country. I can pay $500 a month in a decent condo, 500 US dollars a month in a decent condo. I can eat, I don't know, $25 a day, $20 a day. I can eat good. I can travel without having to drive. Maybe, I don't know, between $5 and $10 a day. And other miscellaneous activities I can do at a cost that's reasonable. Now, if this other country come in, if these other sanctions, these other nations come in and they bring the U.S. dollar uh, and they devalue the U.S. dollar by bringing up this other currency, that $1,500 round trip is now $5,000 or $6,000 because the American dollar has been devalued. That $500 a month 3-bedroom condo that I'm staying in, it's now $2,500 a month. That $20 a day that I use breakfast, lunch, and dinner to eat, $25 a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now it's $100 a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That $5 cab ride is now a $40 cab ride because the US dollar has been devalued. Now, the $30 a month, let's say, excuse me, let's say somebody's working, making $30 an hour. As long as they don't travel, that's good money. But once you decide to travel, that $30 an hour in another country that has devalued the dollar, that $30 an hour is equivalent to like $5 or $6 an hour, maybe even $2 or $3 an hour. May end up. May end up being too much. So remember that for all those that support devaluing the dollar, all those detractors, all these American citizens that speak against what America is doing to continue to keep the dollar stable, to keep the dollar as the world currency. Let's keep it that way. I like it. So let's keep the dollar as the U.S. currency, y'all. Well, let's support what's being done to keep the dollar. I mean, is it wrong? I was taught as a young person that self preservation is the first law of nature. And this is the country I live in. This is the country I was born in. This is the country I know. I'm a citizen of this country. So, yes, I do want to preserve it. Not only preserve it, but I want to thrive. And I do enjoy the spot that this country has in the world. I feel fortunate to be born an American. And yes, I do want to keep it the way it is. Yes, I do enjoy the strength of the American dollar, the power that the American dollar carries when I travel. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the freedom that the American dollar allows me in these other countries across the world. I do enjoy that. That's all I'm saying. And I know a lot of people may or may not agree with me. If you don't agree, tell me why. Tell me what your thoughts are and why you feel the way you feel, why you think the way you think, or why you disagree. Or let me know why you agree. Some of you may have different points than I do. And I'm sure there are a lot of other uh, side effects as a result that's going to happen that I may or may not see. I'm sure I don't see all the pros, all the cons to it, but this is what I do see. And I'm expressing that to you. So let me know what you don't see. Let me know what you see. Let me know what I don't see. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your point of view is. I like to hear from you. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Now, this is Mr. Maxwell. Thank you guys for being here. All three of you. Thank you. This is Mr. Maxwell.